Hello, I'm the Accidental Bookseller. My name's Paul. Welcome to the channel. I'm doing 20 of my favourite book covers today. This was started off by Grammaticus Books, who did his 10 favourite book covers, and there's a number of people done the same. But I got to 14 without even trying, and then I saw that Michael K Vaughn had done 20, so I thought I'm going to do 20 because I've thought of doing 10. Then I could have done another video for 10 more, but we'll do 20. Who's counting? The only rules that Grammaticus laid down was that you had to still own the book and you couldn't name the same artist twice, so you couldn't choose two books of the same artist. In the notes section, I've listed other people who've done their favourite covers, and I've also tagged some people to ask them if they want to do it as well. There hasn't been a tradition of doing tags on this particular topic, but I thought, oh, why not? First book I'm going to choose, they're in no particular order, by the way, and it's a Japanese author called Natsuo Kirino, and the title is called Out. Beautiful covers with nice French flaps. So it also there's a bit of a wraparound going on. I saw this, I actually bought it on the strength of the cover. Well, the story seemed quite good anyway, and it's just beautifully shiny. It's got a really tactile feel and simplistic but sensational. Not included in the 20 book covers, but I thought I'd give you another two that I've got from Natsuo, who's written a lot of books in Japan, but there's not many that have been translated. And there's Grotesque and also Real World. I do think she suffers a bit from using different translators because all three feel like different writers in the way that the word structure and the choice of words within the translation has taken place. Which leads me on to the second book. No problems with translation because it's by a lady called Lucia Graves, who's translated all his work, and obviously it's The Shadow of the Wind because I'm wearing the t-shirt. In my top 3 all time, I've mentioned it a lot on my channel, but I actually bought this on the strength of the cover. I was in Waterstones and I just fancied just buying something, not necessarily random, but just something that I liked the look of, which I don't do very often. I just love the cover. Later editions have a darker design, but on a similar with the lamppost and a man walking on it. And the newer designs have a whiter cover, but this classic first edition cover, I love it. My next choice is We by Yevgeny Zamyatin. It's shiny, and for a Penguin classic, which are normally a little bit on the boring side for the cover, I think I love this design. If you don't know Zamyatin, he wrote this about 5 years before George Orwell wrote 1984, and whilst you wouldn't say that George Orwell might have copied some of it, there are striking similarities at times. I think 1984 is a better book and a better overall story, but there are definitely influences, shall we say. That's Zamyatin and We. Next book I've picked is, which Aaron Facer also picked, and that's Robert Macfarlane's Underland. Again, another with French flaps. Nothing particularly design worthy about them, but I love that cover. My next pick is Nick Cave's The Death of Bunny Munro. It's not particularly noteworthy, but I just like it. I guess it could be, it's maybe a photograph. One thing that Grammaticus didn't say, but I've taken as read, is that you can't necessarily use photographs. It's meant to be sort of artistic, painting type, artistic covers. Although I'm on several, I've covered ones with just a great overall design, but I've deliberately not included a couple of books that were just sort of photographs, which I love. I'll take that on the design basis, even though there's a little bit of a photograph there. The next book is non-fiction, and it's the Almanac. This comes out, well, as you can imagine, every year. This is the 2022 edition. I've got it for the last 5 or 6 years because they all have the same design. And they look nice on the shelf. But unlike an older style almanac in years gone by, this has quite useful information. It's just an interesting book that you don't read in one go, that you come to it first at month and or sometime in that month and you read it. But every cover has a really nice design on it. They're priced at $12.99, but I've never paid $12.99. The secret to it is to put it in an Amazon wish list and just observe it in November and December. I don't think I've paid any more than £6 or £7. The Hamlin Plague by A. Bertram Chandler. I've had this on my wants list for quite a while, and I saw it in the Alpia bookshop in Morecambe earlier this year. And it's not in the greatest of nick because it's got a bend, but beggars can't be choosers, and it's got some sticker marks. But beggars can't be choosers because I've not seen it around anywhere where I've been, and I've wanted it. Someone else did this. I'm wondering if Chris Baggs SF Books got a copy of this, and he got a better overall quality of cover. Yeah, I just like it. The next one is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I like it because it actually it feels like a classic. Obviously, Pride and Prejudice is a classic, but the book design suits a classic kind of design, like you get with the Wordsworth classics. Obviously, with the pictures adapted, just with the typeface and the overall design of it, it feels like a classic mashup, as in the story. It's probably my favourite cover of the various pastiches, because you've got Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters, Jane Slayer, Android Karenina, there's Christmas Carol and Zombies. I collect them all, but this is my favourite cover of in that design. You've seen this one before. This is Masquerade of the Red Death, Volume 1, Blood War. It's a bit shiny, so. By Robert Weinberg. Cover illustration designed by Michael Scott Cohen. Cover illustration by Brom. Yeah, I really do like that design though. First in 3 books. Another newish one, and I guess I'm a sucker for a good cover because I saw this. I've not read it yet, so it might be absolute trash, but I do like it. It's the Delicate Dream department store, and it's just, I saw this in Waterstones, and it's just beautiful. It's got it's what's what's the name for it? It's not smooth. There's an embellishment to the house, and some of the other designs are like smooth, and you can feel it. It's got French flaps as well. Also come with a bookmark. Yeah, I just like it. I really like it. Another one, and you knew that there was going to be a Brian Lumley one in here. And of the necroscopes, I've chosen Necroscope 4 Dead Speak. This is a George Underwood cover. The Blood River, Vampire Life, Man Doom flows on. I just love these Necroscope covers. I've gone on about Necroscope in many of the other videos, so I won't bore you any further. I've also picked out a book, which I guess in everyone's list, there's the odd book where people think, oh, well, what's so good about that? And this, you might think the same about this one, but I just love the old-fashioned nature of Caleb Carr's The Italian Secretary, which has got Sherlock Holmes in. I do like Caleb Carr's the very original design for The Alienist, but this one, and I would have chosen that one, but I don't have it because I bought it. I ummed and ahed for years on whether I should get The Alienist. By the time I'd done that, it'd gone on to a later edition, which doesn't use the cover design that I like. But that one I do like. Next book is Zachariah Sitchin's The 12th Planet. Non-fiction. There's a number of different books by Sitchin on this same subject, all very, very similar designs. Some of them are actually better covers, but they're on the top shelf and I couldn't be bothered to get the step to to reach up and get them. But this is one that I've picked in all my ones that I've chosen, where it's not just the design that I like, but it's the feel. There's a kind of, obviously it's card, but there's kind of like, there's a fabricy type of card feel to it, and it's right nice to the touch. So given that it's your favorite covers, I wanted to include at least one of the Sitchin books because the feel is just something that I've never felt before in a book. Very nice. Next book is a book about Bruegel, Peter Bruegel, my favorite painter. I don't know whether it's cheating to have a famous painter's designs on the cover, but it is one of my favorite covers, so I had to pick it. Obviously, lots of Bruegel's paintings in here with plenty of text as well. Got this in Brussels at the main museum there, where there's lots of Bruegels on display. Next one is the second book of the Aberrat by Clive Barker. Really, really nice book. If you don't know the Aberrat, he's done 3 so far. It's supposed to be going to be 5, although we've been waiting for the last one for a while, or the next one for a while. But this book, it's full of Clive's paintings as well as the story itself. There's lots and lots and lots of paintings. I've got 2 Clive Barker oil paintings in a similar style to the ones in this book on that wall over there. I will show them maybe one day in a video. This is the book where I thought I was going to get barred from Waterstones when I picked it, because I'm really particular when I buy a book, even if it's just a book in the supermarket, on the condition. And I will get one book and compare it to another book and think, right, which one is in the better condition? Oh, well, that one wins. And then I'll put the loser down, and then I'll pick up another on the shelf, compare them again. Oh, well, that one might not be as good as that one. So I'll put the loser down again, and I'll do about, it might be 5 or 6 on a supermarket shelf, and I'll do that. But when I was in Waterstones in Manchester, they had about 20. Like, they were all in a nice display. I did put them back in the nice display, but I did the same thing. I compared, oh, well, that one to that one, that one to that one, so I could get the most absolute pristine copy. And halfway through it, I looked up, and there was several Waterstones employees looking at me in a, I'm not going to say it wasn't menacing, but they didn't look happy in the way that they were looking at me. But I just wanted a decent copy, and that was this particular book. It's a lovely. It's probably the best of the covers of the 3 Aberrats. I do believe Disney bought the rights to it, or they were interested in it at one stage. Communion by Whitley Strieber. I mentioned this in another video, can't remember which one. This is the very first book that I ordered as an adult from a bookshop to place on order for when it was released on the day of release. And it's just an iconic design. The paperback is one of the small size paperbacks. I think if anything that might be a nicer design, but I've got the hardback rather than the paperback. This next one is again more about design than the actual cover itself, and it's The Complete Fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. Just silver. Yeah, so it's not got a particularly outstanding, frontal painting, but given the cover, this tag's about, well, not the tag. This video is about the favorite cover, and on balance, the whole cover is just beautiful in my opinion. I did want to mention one DK book. This is Journey, an illustrated history of travel. Just a really nice design. If you don't know DK do some fantastically designed books. It's not light, it's quite heavy, but they do books with just really nice artwork. Plus they've got a fantastic smell as well. It's got that kind of shiny type paper which smells the best in my opinion. But if you want to see more DK books, I recommend a video by Heroic Book Adventures. He's got quite a collection as well, and he does one particular video where he goes through and shows his DK collection. I will put that particular video in the notes section. The next one hasn't got a particular painting, but I do like the overall design, and it's Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. This particular Barnes and Noble edition, this beveled spine, and it's just really nice design. It's not shiny gold, but it's got kind of gold covering. Nothing to get excited about in terms of a picture or a painting, but just the actual designed typeface and feel is very nice. Another Brian Lumley book is A Horror at Oakdean. This is when he was in the early days on Arkham House. I've actually got 2 copies of The Horror at Oakdean because it is quite rare. And when I saw the second one that I bought, I just thought, and it was at a reasonable price, so I thought it's a no-brainer to get it because I knew that I was making a profit if I would ever sell it, which I should probably sell the second one, but I haven't. This was 1977 for Arkham House, and the cover design is by Stephen E. Fabian. Normally is Brian Lumley's later work, as you've seen from the Necroscope book, it's George Underwood. And there's also Bob Eggleton that he uses for more of his American covers. But one of the early Brian Lumley's, The Horror at Oakdean, I do like that. This is a Red Bradbury that I do like. This is beveled as well. This is Martian Chronicles, Illustrated Man and the Golden Apples of the Sun, all combined in one volume. Again, a beveled spine with a shiny gold edge. Just a lovely book. Yeah. I also picked out the Weird Tales Brian Lumley special from winter 1989. Art by Vincent DeFate. It's got in it stories by Brian Lumley, but there's also Robert Sheckley in there as well, and there's a verse by Robert E. Howard. Yeah, I do like that though. I mentioned Bob Eggleton, and I wasn't going to do favourite covers without Bob Eggleton. And if you look back at the just a couple of videos ago, I did an unboxing. There's a Bob Eggleton cover in that. I didn't want to just include that one because I'd only just done the video, so I picked the Touch novel, Necroscope novel by Brian Lumley. I could have picked quite a few Brian Lumleys because there's a number of different books. There's Tarakash Hossack, which I particularly like. Fantastic. Clark Ashton Smith, A Rendezvous in Averoigne. It's a little bit faded on the spine compared to originally. This is quite collectible now. I saw this. When did I get this? 88. Yeah, that would be about right. Yeah, I've had it about 35 years. It's got the odd piece of artwork in it. But yeah, so it's nothing to particularly write home about. I guess it's a personal choice. And finally, and I think this might make 21 or 22. I don't know. Don't know whether I've done 20 or gone slightly over. But who's counting? On the back it says like Hieronymus Bosch, like Peter Bruegel, who I've picked by, and I could have picked Hieronymus Bosch because he's in my top 3 favourite painters. H.I. Geiger mercilessly shows us the anabolism and catabolism of our realities, and this is H.I. Geiger. This is a fantastic book. Lots of design type stuff. When I was backpacking in Europe many years ago, the Geiger Museum, wasn't open then, and I just wish it was. If you don't like Geiger's designs, then this ain't going to do much for you. But I do, and it's just a fantastic book cover. So there we are. That's them all. So I hope you enjoyed that. They're probably not my all-time favourite covers because as I was getting them off the shelves, I was seeing others and thinking, oh, I do like that. And you can't include them all, but these are 20 of my favourite book covers rather than 20 favourites. I think most of the people who I've seen videos doing this particular topic, they've pretty much done the same. So anyway, if you like the video and want to see more, by all means click like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon. Thank you. Goodbye.